Hello once again, dear students. You are welcome to week 4 topic, which is on basic computer concepts. To begin with this topic, we will start with the definition of what a computer is. A computer is an electronic device which accepts data as input, processes the data, stores the data, and outputs or gives the processed data as useful information. By electronic device, we basically mean that the computer is powered by electricity. This means you must plug it to a power source like many desktop computers, or you must have electric charges stored in its battery to supply its power, like laptops. To better understand this definition, let us compare a human being and food with the computer and data. This is one fantastic way to prove that the inventor of the computer studied the human being and got wisdom on how to create a machine such as the very useful computer. It can hopefully inspire you to study the natural things around you, and they can inspire you to create the next big invention. Okay, now let's look at a young kid eating food on one side and look at the computer on the other side to make comparison. Now, just like your human body needs food to function, the computer needs digital data to function. These data are raw facts and figures in the form of text, audio, pictures, and videos that haven't been processed. Now, you will notice from the definition of computer that it does 4 major things, which is to 1. Accept data, 2. Process the data, 3. Store the processed data, and 4. Give it out as information. Now let's start with the first one. Looking at a human being like this young person eating, you will notice that there are certain parts of the body needed to accept the food. Can you mention 1 or 2? I know you've noticed the hands and the mouth. In the same way, for the computer to accept data into it, it needs certain devices called input devices, like the keyboard to type in data and the mouse to click and enter commands. Now moving to the next step of processing. For the human being, you will notice that after accepting the food, it needs to start processing it into useful energy. You will notice that there are several parts of the body that help to break down and process the food, such as the teeth for chewing, throat for swallowing, stomach, intestine, etc. However, one major part that controls the whole system of processing the food is the brain. The brain sends signals to the tongue and teeth for tasting and chewing, to the stomach for digestion, and to the intestine to convert to useful energy. In the same way, the computer processes data using a processing device called the Central Processing Unit, CPU, which is found in the system unit of the computer. The next step is storing. You will notice that for this child, there is an organ where the food she accepts is stored, which is the stomach. In the same way, there are storage devices in the computer, one of which is the hard disk, where data is stored, found in the system unit. And finally, for outputting, you will agree with me that there are some places where the processed food can be outputted or come out from in this child. It can come out from the skin pores or holes as useful energy, which it can use to play and do tasks. Or even the unwanted food can be pooped out through another organ called the anus and vomited from her mouth. In the same way, the processed data in a computer can be outputted, displayed, or brought out using output devices like monitor, speakers, even printer. You will even notice that, like in the human being, in which the mouth can serve as both an input and output organ, the same applies for some touch screens or touch screen monitors, which can serve as both input device for entering data and output device for displaying the data. Wow! This explanation has given you a thorough understanding of what the definition of a computer is and what this topic is all about. Moving on from here will be a breeze. Let's continue.